The gates of an Ivy League school are a long way from where Ruth Simmons started out, in the fields of Grapeland, Texas.
My parents were wonderful, uneducated, fundamentally, reading level minimal, working as field hands, basically.
A sharecropper and a maid, with 12 children, Simmons' parents were dirt poor, but they instilled in their baby girl the value of true success.
They knew how to teach us not to take a back seat to others in defining ourselves, and that was an incredible gift.
A gift that sustained her at 15 when her mother died. A gift that motivated her to hit the books, earn a scholarship to Dillard University, and eventually graduate at the top of her class, summa cum laude.
You know, when I was growing up, I was told systematically that I would never be anything more than a secretary, because that's what society was at the time. So within me as a child growing up, there arose this sense that there were limitations for me. But I was very lucky because I stumbled upon some magic that helped to allay my concerns about that. And that magic was books.
And not just reading them, she was obsessed by how they were written. It led her to study writing at Harvard University, eventually earning a master's and a doctorate in romantic literature. That's when her journey into teaching began, first as a dean at Princeton, and then provost, the highest-ranking administrator at Spelman, then eventually becoming the first African-American to head the all-female Smith College. She says her parents, her background, her education shaped her approach to teaching.
If a student comes into your classroom, it's everything that concerns that student concerns you. And that means if they look hungry, that should concern you. It means if they have troubles at home, you have to try to see if there are ways that you can help.
Simmons' one-on-one approach earned her high marks, and in 2001, she made history again, becoming the president of Brown University, the first African-American ever to head an Ivy League institution.
For truly, I have seen in Brown the kind of place I imagined when I dedicated my life to education.
She says that after her appointment, she knew the election of someone like Barack Obama was possible.
It happens because society evolves, and the same is true for women. Today, girls being born in this country can look forward to doing just about anything they aspire to do. And that is an extraordinary thing because we can remember when women couldn't vote.
Do you think that you mean more as an example, or to you, do you sit down and go, I'm the first, woman, African-American woman president of an Ivy League, or does it mean more to?
Being a first is historically, perhaps historically significant, but it's also an accident. It could have been somebody else. And I think one can't get too involved in the notion of being the first, really, of anything. And I'm just happy to be president of a great university, and it wouldn't matter to me whether I was the fifth African American who had done it.
Simmons says her mission now is educational equality and access for everyone. At Brown, she's launched a $1.4 billion program known as the Campaign for Academic Enrichment.
We should be judged as a society by whether the least of our population can find their way to education, and as a consequence of finding their way there, elevate themselves to the highest opportunity. That's the test.
Ruth Simmons, a brilliant mind who rose from sharecropper's daughter to an admired educator and role model, a true African-American first.